Hi, welcome back. This is a class just to help you get started on your way to recovery from childbirth, diastasis, just trying to, or pelvic floor issues, just trying to find your way back to feeling your core muscles. So it's a very gentle class. And we're just going to start by lying on the back. And I'm using a cushion underneath my head. If you see this, you'll see my ribs are quite up. We're going to bring this cushion underneath the head here. Just take a moment to relax on your back with your feet just hip width apart. And you can probably use the cushion. You might need more cushions. If you feel you're arched in your back here, then it's really good to use just a little prop here to feel that your front, this can settle down into the floor. And then just check that you're resting. You can have a little hollow for the lower back. And we're going to start with the candles breathing. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, slowly blow out. And hopefully at the end of your exhale, you feel some tension, some pulling back, some gentle engaging of your core. Breathing in. Trying to focus the breathing not on the belly going forward, but expanding the side ribs. It's just a gentle pressure out side to side, and on the exhale, slowly exhaling as if you had a birthday cake in front of you with 90, 100 candles, and you're blowing them all out. Inhaling through the nose. And finding that nice exhale. And one more time, breathing in. And last time, breathing out. Now this time, continue with your exhales, your candle's breath. See if you can bring in a feeling of the up arrow. So as you exhale, and there's a little feeling of the up arrow, the breath going up from the bottom towards the top. Breathing in. Trying to feel your back is expanding into the floor, your side ribs out towards the sides of the room. Trying to restrict a little bit of the movement in the front. And exhaling. Trying to find a feeling of lift through the center for the up arrow. And just two more times here. If you need more time to find these breathings, this breathing, candle's breath, rib cage, also the up arrow, just stop the video and take a moment to practice some more. Okay, we're going to come into practicing this on hands and knees. So you're going to just turn over. You can move your cushion to the side. And first we're just going to start by relaxing the abdominals. Breathing in. Letting the stomach relax, not pushing it out, but just seeing if it can relax. And then exhaling. Find that nice core engagement here, breathing in. And exhaling. So I'm not intentionally breathing and pushing out my stomach. I'm just more trying to let my stomach just relax. And then exhaling, taking the candle's breath here. Now adding, excuse me, adding in the up arrow. Let's take 4 breaths here, breathing in. Now often the wrists, we're here for a while. Exhaling. If the wrists start to bother you, just come down on your elbows. Try to push the elbows just under your shoulders. Take a breath in. And exhale. And breathing in. And exhale. If you want, you can stay on your hands, on your elbows, or come back to your hands. And we're going to add the cat back. So just do a few cat backs rounding, just exhaling and inhaling and exhaling and inhaling. Now you're going to be in this hollow back, and we're going to try the cat from moving from the hips first. So keeping your chest up, start rolling the hips under first, thinking lower back, pelvis shifting, middle back, rib cage, upper back, neck and head. And then reversing that, starting with the pelvis, arching away from you, the middle back, and then lifting the chest up. And just watch with the hollow back that you're not sinking or dropping here, dropping your ribs down or cranking your neck, like really overbending the upper neck, the neck, back of the neck. We want to try and keep it a bit long and focus the rotation not on this rib hinge area, but more on the breastbone chest area. So if you want, you can give it a little tap to get some more attention there, and try and press the breastbone up and release the neck a little. And then tailbone. You can see the movement will look much more limited. If I really push, of course, I make a big upper back curve. But I'm looking for more of a universal curve in the spine. And then reverse it. And tail. I like to imagine I have a really super long tail. And I'm just snaking through the spine, trying to find equal stretch throughout the spine, as opposed to pooling all my mobility into my upper back, and then reversing it, pooling all my mobility into my lower back here. See if you can share the work. And then starting with the tailbone. So here, holding back from this tilt, keeping a little resistance in the front, and also pushing the chest forward and up without releasing in the lower back. Tail. And the last time, cat back. And then just come more to a neutral spine. That's where you're going to have a little bit of a hollow. And then the ribs are going to be a bit lifted up, not too much towards the cat, but just away from the floor, so you're not dropping down past your shoulders with your chest. And we're going to take one hand forward, and I want you to reach it high towards the top of the mat and bend your right elbow. Try not to push the ribs out. See if you can find that nice candle's breath here. Exhale. So my left hand is really pulling away. My hips are pulling back, reaching in 2 directions. And bring the left hand in, the right hand out, and use the exhale. And again, just lifting your left hand up the top of the mat, breathing in. Exhale. One more breath. Now see if you can add in the up arrow. And switch. The right hand forward, pressing the left hand in the floor, breathing in. Exhale. And coming back, just take a little rest. Take the knees open, sit back on the heels. You can stretch the arms out in the child's pose or just bring them under your forehead. And come back to your breathing here, breathing in. And exhale. And coming up, coming out of that. Now we're going to come on the back again. We're going to grab the cushion to rest the head and come into some reverse marching. So you're lying on your back. And you can just put your hands on your hip bones here and just hold your pelvis. And you're going to keep try not to tuck the chin like I just did. It's very tempting to kind of look down. But we might keep ourselves in a nice neutral alignment. And on the exhale, finding the up arrow and try to keep the hips very still as you lift the right leg up and bring it back to the mat. Let's keep with the right leg and do 4 more using your exhales. Try to keep your hips very centered. If you're not sure if you are keeping your hips centered, try a few intentionally tilting to the side or relaxing, like let your leg lift and see what happens with your hips and legs, lower leg. And then, so we know what it is to do it incorrectly, and then see if you can keep it there with a minimum of movement. You're going to replace the foot down and switch. So you're going to take the left foot up and down. And just notice if you need to just kind of shake things out, lift your left leg and notice the shifting of the pelvis. And then exhale, bring it into center. And down. Doing about 5. Now notice, when we think stability, we often think rigidity and tension. So we often go, push, we call this bearing down, where you bear down, you push everything out, you try and stabilize any way you know how. And right now, this is the strategy you might know better. Try to let that go. Find the candle's breath. And just take your time. Make the movement smaller. We have to sometimes go slower if we're retraining something. Just take it nice and easy. And then just relax. Take a moment just to shake things out. We're going to do a little twist. You're going to put the hands out to the side. Take a breath in. And then exhale, twist to the right. Now I'm not letting my legs fall down. I'm just turning them slightly. And then here, find your candle's breathing to bring the legs back to center. Inhale in the middle. Exhale, take the legs to the side and see if you can really squeeze your legs together. So you can see my right foot is lifting, is really glued to my left foot here, breathing in. And exhale, pulling back. Breathing in the middle. And exhale, twisting. Just hold your legs steady. So the difference is not letting them fall down and flop, but holding them gently in the air and drawing them back to center. Breathing in and exhale, twist. Let's try one more. The twisting really helps stretch out the obliques, both activate them and stretch them, because often the outer muscles get a little too tight. We don't want to be tight, doesn't mean we have to resist using them. We just want to make sure we also stretch them and coming back to center. Good. And then let's take a moment to shake things out, just rock things. Give the leg a little shake, the other leg, and then come back onto your front again, onto your hands and knees. So we're going to come back to hands and knees, and we're going to work on the puppy. So our hands are in front, and this is a way to try to find that we can support ourselves on all four hands, and on the two hands, two knees, all fours, and exhale, stretching back. So we're looking for a feeling of downward facing dog without all the stress of downward facing dog. That's why we're on the knees, so we can try to find that exhale, candle's breath here. And then we're going to come forward. And feel free to walk the hands in a little closer if you need. And again, exhaling, leaning into the hands. And I'm leaning into my hands without dropping onto my hands. I'm going to push the floor away and keep myself really well supported. And then leaning back, leaning back. This one I like to slide my hands a little further so I get a bit more shoulder stretch. And then coming up, bring the hands a bit more in. Pause to inhale. And then exhale. Find your candle's breath as you press into your hands coming forward. Coming back. Actually, I'm going to walk my knees a little further away so I get more of a stretch in the upper body. Pressing my palms into the floor. Keeping my ribs tucked in, trying not to arch here. So I'm keeping control in my core. And taking a little walk forward with the knees. And exhale. Thinking of lifting my chest over my hands, not dropping my chest over my hands. Let's just do two more. Shifting back. And forward. And one more time back. And forward. And then again, just come back to a child's pose. You can just come on put the elbows down to release the wrists. And we're going to come to sitting and crossing the legs. And just put one hand to your center. You're going to lift your other arm over your head, breathing in. Now with your exhale, find your candle's breath and stretch to the side. So you want to find your core as you go over and coming back, breathing in and exhaling. Inhaling back. Just take two more side bends. You can put your hand on the floor, but just watch that you're not leaning on your hand or dropping or hanging hanging down. You want to feel that lift. So as if I'm pushing away from the floor a little bit with this hand, shoulder down, elbows actually quite relaxed, and coming up. And one more time, breathing in, and exhale, coming over to the side. And coming up, other side. I'm sitting cross-legged. You can sit in another way that makes sense for you, even on a chair. You might want to put your hand beside you on the table or on the armrest. You don't want to lean on your arm too much. Then you're kind of outsourcing the work of your torso to your arm. You want to make your body hold you up as you come over. That's a very vague term, body, but this part of your body, let's say. Let's take two more. And exhaling over. One more time, breathing in and exhale over. And coming back. Just take a bit of a shoulder circle. You can go opposition shoulders. It's always nice to move the shoulders a bit. Let's reach up and take a big stretch side to side. And one more time, breathing in. Big stretch side to side. And just roll the head around 4 times. And reverse the direction. Okay, now we're going to come up to stand. So we're going to put the left foot up on the block. It'll be on the toes of your right foot. And just put your hand on your outside hip. Not too high, not at the high point of the pelvis, but kind of lower down. And you're going to lean into your hand. Let's actually point the finger. You can feel when you shift or you kind of sink into your hip moves into your finger. Now you're going to gently press through your leg, kind of down, to shift your hips to the right. I'm mirroring you, so I'm going to say left foot. That direction is right. So you're going to shift into your fingertip and then press through your leg. You can have your knee in a very gentle bend, like really micro bend if you tend to push your knee backwards. And you want to put a little bit more weight into your heel as you do this. If you feel that you're off balance, you're going to use the wall. So that should be number 3. We're going to go to 10. 4. So you're going to move your hip towards your finger and then press through the leg straight down to shift your hip away from the finger into your hand and then away from your hand. And 6. Nice. Keep it going. If you're feeling a burning sensation in the outside of your hip down the leg of it, that's a good feeling. That's what we want right now. Let's take 3 more. 3. You can also integrate the candle's breath as you go. 2. And last one. And then just step down. Go for a little walk. Shake it out. And we'll step up with the right foot on here. And just while we're kind of recovering, I'm just going to turn the block a bit sideways. You want to try to notice if your weight is forward in your toes, or if you can keep your weight. You can see my lower leg, the seam of my tights is going right over my ankle. So when I go into that hip side press, I'm going to press through just that gentle outside edge of the ankle, not so I'm rolling my foot over, but just put a little more pressure there. And then to the right, and then up. Good, let's take it. And you notice, well, before we go, I could really lock out my knee and push my calf back, but I'm going to try and control the alignment of my leg and keep it really, my hip, knee, and ankle in the same line. So that can be something you can check on with a mirror. We're going to take it again, and let's go 10. Sinking into the right hip, feeling your hips shift that way, and then pressing through the leg, moving to the other side. And I like to just breathe in when I go down, And then exhale, press, and feel the waist pull up a little as I move back. Trying to find the candles breathing, up arrows. Four, we're going to go for 5. 6. And just 4 more there. Just know if you have this nice heated sensation on the outside of your leg here, that's the right feeling. 9, 1 more, I definitely feel it. And 10. And then just coming down, giving the legs a nice little shake out, side to side, removing the block. And then just finishing standing. Let's just take one arm overhead and put one hand to the front. Inhale. And take your exhale, finding your candles breathing. Inhale, coming back up. And exhaling. Candles breath. Just one more here. And exhale, thinking of a lift up and over, and just notice if there's a feeling of falling down. And this hand in front, you can feel like if you're collapsing, also probably the stomach will really push forward. See if you can keep a feeling of pulling back, side bending, bending, bending. Coming up, switching arms. We're going to bring the hand to your front, the other arm up, breathing in. Exhale over to the side. Inhale, coming back in the middle. Exhale over to the side. Inhale up. And exhale side. And just recentering, bringing your hands down, giving your body a little shake out just to finish. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed your class today.